After Royce confessed his feelings to me, Camila slapped me 10 times in front of everyone. No one in the class dared to say a word. Camila claimed she was the principal's daughter. I laughed. So the principal's daughter thinks she can be so arrogant? Sisters, does that mean I, the daughter of the city's richest person, can just beat her up? At the beginning of the school year, Camila won first prize in the district for her essay. The title of the essay was My Principal Father. When the essay was posted, there were a lot of admiring voices around. Wow, Camila, your dad is the principal? No wonder you're so rich. So it was really you who got out of the principal's BMW that day. Camila enjoyed the flattery, flipped her hair dramatically, and nodded arrogantly. Camila is so excellent, rich, and smart. I couldn't help but laugh from my seat. This isn't about studying hard, it's clearly about who your dad is. My teasing was out of sync with the surrounding voices. Camila glanced disdainfully at my outfit and sneered, "It doesn't matter what you compete in. What's scary is when some people can't compete at all, looking poor and then becoming envious." Poor, my dad is the richest man in the city, and my mom is the CEO of Henry Group and a board member at Nanching Middle School. The term poor has nothing to do with me, okay? At that moment, I followed Camila's gaze and looked down at my t-shirt. This t-shirt was a limited edition worth 30,000. Later, while volunteering, the children from the orphanage drew a few sunflowers on the shirt to express their gratitude. The shirt has a price, but the children's gratitude is priceless. I gave Camila a glare and said nothing. Just as Camila was about to get angry at me for glaring, her gaze unintentionally shifted to the corridor outside the classroom, and she immediately quieted down. I followed her gaze and saw Royce chatting and laughing with others in the hallway. Coincidentally, Royce's eyes were also peeking towards us. The surrounding crowd kept cheering, "Royce looks so handsome today. I heard he's going to confess his feelings. I wonder who's so lucky to be loved by Royce?" You can tell by his gaze, he's been looking at our Camila. I noticed a blush appear on Camila's face. Oh, seems like there's a good show coming up. Girl in the white dress from class 3, Royce wants to see you outside. Hearing this, Camila, dressed in a white dress, walked out proudly like a peacock. "Senior, did you call for me?" Camila confidently adjusted her hair and smiled sweetly at Royce. Royce looked at her with confusion, ignored her, and walked straight to me. "Jamie, I've liked you for a long time. Can you be my girlfriend?" A wave of astonishment erupted. Am I the one getting caught in the drama? I looked at Royce. At this moment, his face showed no sign of shyness or nervousness, as if getting me was a sure thing. "Royce, please don't let your emotions get in the way of making decisions. It will only bring unhappiness." Royce's face instantly changed from white to red, then to black. He began to speak harshly to me. "Jamie, who do you think you are? Don't get ahead of yourself." I smiled, looking at the furious Royce, and thought his so-called affection was quite cheap. I didn't want to argue with him, so I turned and went back to the classroom. As soon as I sat down, I saw Camila excitedly running to Royce and whispering something in his ear. They glanced over at me from time to time. The beauty is speechless. Before class started, while I was reviewing new lessons, a sudden slap stunned me. I looked up and saw it was Camila. She looked down at me with arrogance and said, "You're trying to compete with me for Royce with your poor look?" The pain and humiliation surged through me. Just as I was about to retaliate, my desk mate Haley tugged at my sleeve, frowning and shaking her head. Her gaze was sincere and earnest, so I restrained myself for the moment. Haley told me that she had also been slapped by Camila during middle school. After she retaliated, Camila started spreading rumors about her, calling her a bad woman. Haley said Camila had been flaunting her status as the principal's daughter since middle school and acted arrogantly. Over time, whatever she said or did was supported by a large number of followers, regardless of right or wrong. Thus, the nickname 100 Girls was written on Haley's school uniform. Even when she just went to the hospital for a cold, the classmates spread rumors that she was there for a sexually transmitted disease. Over time, almost no one wanted to be friends with Haley. Until high school, she tried to win favor with Camila by using money, which slightly improved the situation. Haley spoke, her eyes reddening and tears welling up. I sighed deeply, patted her shoulder to comfort her, looking at Camila with her chin held high, passionately sharing the inspiration behind her award-winning essay. I pondered a little. Because of this slap, I couldn't go home for dinner. I feared that my parents would worry and get angry if they saw it, then start asking questions. At noon, it was our housekeeper Lauren who brought me lunch. My parents are very busy with work, and Lauren's care for me is meticulous. When I went out to get the food, Lauren, dressed in her housekeeping uniform, was anxiously peeking inside. "Lauren, what are you looking at?" My daughter also studies at this high school. I haven't seen her for a while, so I miss her. She has grown so beautiful, is well behaved, and has good grades. Lauren spoke with a beaming smile as she talked about her daughter. The food Lauren made was truly delicious. I ate heartily while listening to her talk about her child. It was clear that her daughter was Lauren's pride and joy. "By the way, Jamie, could you give this snack to my daughter?" Lauren took out a worn lunchbox from her pocket, which contained the snack she had carefully prepared. I took the lunchbox and asked Lauren for her daughter's class and name. "I don't know the class, she won't tell me. My daughter shares my last name and is named Camila." Hearing the name Camila, I stopped eating. Lauren took out her phone and excitedly showed me a photo of her daughter. "Oh, isn't this the same Camila who claims to be the principal's daughter?" When I returned to the classroom, everyone had already gone to physical education class. I placed the lunchbox from Lauren on Camila's desk, along with a note, "Wang Ling, Lauren's name." I didn't see Camila eat the snack all day. When school ended, I found the unopened lunchbox in the trash bin. Along with it, there was a torn piece of paper. The heart of a parent is pitiful. I bent down, picked up the lunchbox from the trash, carefully wiped the worn-out box with a wet tissue, and put it in my bag. The next day, as soon as I entered the classroom, classmates began to point and whisper about me. I checked my outfit, t-shirt and jeans, nothing wrong. I took out a small mirror and carefully checked if there was anything dirty on my face. Everything was fine. The problem was with these people. I ignored their words and actions, focusing on my morning study. My brain instantly went blank. At that moment, my desk mate quietly tugged at my sleeve, signaling me to look at her phone. I looked down and saw photos on the campus hot search. The campus forum had posted several photos, including one of me picking up the lunchbox from the trash, and another of Lauren, wearing her Nanching housekeeping uniform, looking at me with a loving expression as I ate. The comment section exploded. The top comment claimed that I'm the daughter of a maid and that the nice clothes I wear are leftovers from wealthy families. Many others said that the lunchbox I picked out of the trash was actually thrown away by Princess Camila. No wonder everyone was staring at me like I was a circus act first thing in the morning. The photos were posted by an anonymous user. I had someone investigate. Soon enough, we found out. The account name of the poster was Camila Baby. This name is well known everywhere. It's quite funny. At this point, all of this is my fault. I gave this Camila Baby too much face. Camila truly acts like a tyrant in a government office, bullying others from her privileged position. Just then, Camila walked by me. I stopped her and said straightforwardly, "Camila, you uploaded those photos online, didn't you? If you admit it, I might even respect you as someone with some guts." Camila looked flustered for a moment, her eyes darting around, but she quickly regained her composure. "Jamie, how could you think that of me? I didn't know your mom is a maid, and I didn't realize your family was in such trouble." Her voice grew louder, and soon a crowd of classmates gathered around us. I rolled my eyes and said sternly, "Camila, let's stick to the facts. That lunchbox." Before I could finish, Camila cut me off with a fake sobbing tone. "Why are you being so mean to me? Just because you're poor doesn't mean you're right. I didn't know you would go through my trash for lunch. That lunchbox was made by my family's maid. If you like it, I can ask her to make one for you in the future." I was furious. I placed the evidence that the photo poster was Camilla baby right in front of her. She glanced at the evidence and cried, "Why are you making up such things to frame me?" Fine, it's my fault. I did post it, all right. She then burst into dramatic tears. Her entourage quickly comforted her, saying things like, "Camila, don't listen to her. She's just jealous of you. Yeah, Royce loves you now. You're rich, and she's feeling insecure. Jamie is just a schemer, always trying to seduce men and causing trouble." Camila sniffled, wiped her tears, and said, "Thank you for believing in me. Don't blame Jamie too much, she's really quite pitiable." I thought, where's my knife when I need it? After these events, I decided to investigate Camila's real background. On the weekend, as usual, I went to the orphanage with fruits and milk for volunteering. After distributing the fruits and milk, I started looking for the child who had drawn on my shirt last time. After searching high and low, I finally found the little sunshine crying in a dark corner. Her tear-filled eyes were like a clear spring, and her pitiful look broke my heart. When she saw me, she called out, "Jamie's sister," and threw herself into my arms, resting her head on my shoulder and sobbing. My heart melted. I gently asked, "What's wrong with our little treasure today?" Little Sunshine pouted and said with her big eyes wide open, "Jamie's sister, today is my birthday, but no one took me to KFC. My parents used to take me to KFC on my birthday, but now I don't have parents. No one will take me to KFC anymore." Little Sunshine had just arrived at the orphanage this year. Her parents died in a car accident, leaving her alone in the world. Hearing her desperate cries made me tear up. I took her hand and said, "Who said no one will take you to KFC?" I wiped her tears and looked into her big eyes, saying seriously, "This year's birthday, next year's birthday, and all the birthdays in the future, Jamie's sister will take you to KFC." After that, I said goodbye to the director and took Little Sunshine to KFC. I held her hand as we hopped out of the orphanage. Unexpectedly, just a few steps out of the gate, we ran into Royce. The autumn sunlight warmed Royce's fair profile, and Little Sunshine couldn't take her eyes off him. Royce wasn't unattractive, he was a bit handsome. "Sister, this big brother is so handsome," said Little Sunshine. I sighed. There was nothing to be done, the birthday girl liked him. I went up to greet him. To my surprise, Royce not only didn't greet me as usual but actually stepped back as if I were a plague. He looked at Little Sunshine and me with clear disdain. At that awkward moment, Camila appeared before us. It was absurd, like a ridiculous mother opening a ridiculous door, reaching peak ridiculousness. Camila saw the orphanage behind us and gave a meaningful smile. She ruthlessly pinched Little Sunshine's chubby face and asked, "Troublemaker, this kid isn't your sister, is she? Did your maid throw her into the orphanage? Are there really such heartless mothers in this world?" Little Sunshine's tears streamed down her face in pain. I yanked Camila's hand away. "Ah, Jamie, what are you doing?" "Royce, it hurts, woo-woo. How dare you? You little green tea. You'll pay for this." Touching me is one thing, but touching Little Sunshine crosses my line. Royce gently held Camila's hand, treating it like a precious treasure, and blew on it tenderly. Ugh, this scene made me want to vomit. Ha, what a perfect match for AB asterisk 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 and a dog. May it last forever. I couldn't hold back any longer. Camila's eyes were filled with hostility as she glared at me. "What did you say? Jamie, you poor thing, relying on trash picking to eat, and you dare talk to me like that." Royce stood protectively in front of her and scolded, "Slut, if you insult us again, I'll tear your mouth apart." Little Sunshine, seeing this, burst into tears from fright. This time, I saw Royce's true face. Continuing to argue with these two B asterisk 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 es would benefit neither me nor Little Sunshine. Revenge is best served cold. I stopped engaging with them and, holding Little Sunshine, left straight for KFC. At KFC, Little Sunshine no longer had the smile from before and kept her head down, waiting for the meal. She was clearly frightened by what had just happened. I comforted her softly. I told her that those two were paper tigers, looking fierce on the outside but falling apart when challenged. Little Sunshine looked up with tear-streaked cheeks and said, "Sister, is it because you often buy us food that you have to pick up trash? I don't want KFC anymore. Let's go back. I don't want you to pick up trash, woo-woo." She cried out once more, her voice breaking. She wasn't afraid, she was worried about me. I felt a pang of warmth in my heart. I pointed to a tall skyscraper across the street, the headquarters of Henry Group. "Sweetheart, that building belongs to my mom, which means it's mine too." Little Sunshine's eyes widened. She looked at the building, then at me, and pouted, "Sister, you're lying. If you're so rich, why would you pick up trash?" I smiled gently. "That's because there are many bad people in this world who pretend to be good in front of rich people. So, sister is pretending to be poor to distinguish who is truly good from who is just pretending to be good." Little Sunshine nodded, half understanding. But she was sure of one thing, her Jamie sister was a little rich lady. She picked up a piece of chicken and ate it happily. Seeing Little Sunshine's joyful face, I made a silent decision. When I got home, I pulled out the rose-embroidered dress I wore to the South City charity night last month. This dress was designed by the same designer as the rose dress worn by Doraba Dilmurat on the red carpet. After the rose dress became famous, the designer revised it into a rose-embroidered dress more suitable for everyday wear. This dress wasn't cheap. The only downside was that after the charity night, I accidentally snagged a corner of the dress. However, the small tear was barely noticeable unless you looked closely. I pretended to lament this minor flaw to Lauren. "Oh, this dress is so beautiful to wear but too good to throw away." Lauren, seeing my dilemma, spoke with a tone of flattery and humility. "Miss, Lauren knows you have a good heart, treating the children at the orphanage well and not flaunting your wealth like other rich kids. How about this, I'll trade all my rest days this year for the dress. I'll give the dress to my daughter, she's never had such a nice dress in her life." I looked at Lauren, feeling a pang in my heart. How could such a wonderful mother have such a child? I took Lauren's hand and said gently, "Lauren, you've taken such good care of me during this time. I'm very grateful to you. How could I let you give up your rest just to exchange for this dress? Keep the dress, and continue to rest as usual." Lauren was extremely grateful and brought a lot of oranges from downstairs, pushing them into my hands. "Jamie, these are oranges that Lauren grew herself. Please don't disdain them." Looking at the bright oranges, I felt a mix of emotions. From the balcony on the second floor, I saw Lauren and Camila. I picked up my camera. The villa had a nice, quiet environment, perfect for studying. Hence, I could clearly hear their conversation from the second floor. "Camila, Mom really has no more money. Didn't I just give you 2,000 last week? What could 2,000 do? I spent it on a few textbooks and now it's gone. My classmates have pocket money in the thousands. Look at other people's parents." Camila looked at Lauren with disdain and impatience. "Hurry up and give me 1,000. As she spoke, she started reaching into Lauren's pockets to grab the money. Lauren anxiously asked, "What do you need so much money for? Are you even studying properly?" Camila, feeling questioned, looked incredulous and said loudly, "My essay won first place in the district, and I was supposed to go to the provincial competition. But the registration fee is 1,000 yuan, not to mention travel and accommodation costs. I'm only concerned about you and the money, which is why I gave up on the competition. How can you say this about me?" Tears started streaming down her face, her expression truly heart-wrenching. I had participated in many provincial competitions and had never heard of a registration fee. It was all nonsense. Lauren, heartbroken, immediately took all the cash from her tattered wallet and handed it all over to Camila. She also presented my rose-embroidered dress as if it were a treasure. Camila examined the dress and, satisfied with the money and the dress, left happily, leaving Lauren staring at her empty wallet. In the following days, Lauren probably had to survive on pickled vegetables and buns again. At the sports meet opening ceremony, Camila wore my rose-embroidered dress to hold the class placard. As expected, all the girls at school were admiring the beauty of the dress. Camila almost became the star of the sports meet. Compared to the events, everyone was more concerned about the dress she was wearing. Her chin was almost reaching the sky. This dress is worth 200,000 yuan. Don't touch it carelessly. Wow, the principal's daughter really is a high-class beauty. Rich sister, give me a hug. Fairy sister, look at me. With that single eyelid of hers, could she be called a fairy? Excuse me, please don't use my name for fake pretense, thank you. I rolled my eyes and muttered, sigh, life is so dull, like cattle imitating humans. Camila heard and snapped, Jamie, are you implying something about me? Well, how could it not be? I feigned innocence, which made her even angrier. You? Seeing Camila's hand raised again, I quickly intervened, blocking her slap and pushing her to the ground. Her piercing scream echoed across the playground. Classmates rushed to her side, carefully checking the dress to make sure it wasn't damaged. Fortunately, it's not ruined. The classmates, comforting her, turned around and scolded me harshly, poor person. Keep your hands off, or even if you sell yourself, you won't be able to afford this dress. I stared coldly at Camila's entourage. Just as I was about to retort, her scream interrupted me. Were these girls all scream queens? My ears were almost going deaf. Camila, it seems like there's a problem with the dresses corner. Jamie should compensate. Ha, compensate for what? Picking trash out of a garbage bin, with a sister in an orphanage, where's the money? The voices slandering me grew louder. I gave up, as I had already achieved my goal. Being scolded a few times was nothing. But a dissenting voice reached my ears. This isn't Jamie's fault. Camila fell to the left, but the damaged corner is on the right. I saw Haley's face reddening with anger as she almost shouted this out. This statement made everyone quiet, as it was the truth. People started whispering about Camila's dress. Camila calmly said, oh, the right corner? It must have happened when I attended the charity night in South City. It was well known that only the high-ranking officials and nobles of South City could attend the charity night. A stir arose. So this dress is the rose-embroidered dress that dazzled the entire event and was reported by the media. I didn't expect Camila to be so impressive. She must have been low-key usually. Camila confidently flipped her hair, stepping harder in her high heels. She had turned into a proud phoenix. Only I knew she was just a crow dressed in phoenix feathers. In the following days, I deliberately sent Lauren a few more designer dresses I had worn. These appeared on Camila. Camila became increasingly arrogant, and the bags she matched with her dresses grew more expensive. From Chanel to Hermes, she had them all. These bags weren't arranged by me. And I specifically observed that some were second-hand, while others were indeed brand new from the store. Camila's clothes kept getting better, and her bags more luxurious, while her complexion grew paler. This drama just kept getting better and better. Camila enjoyed the admiration of female classmates and the pursuit of male classmates daily. Even Royce, from the past, started queuing up to buy breakfast for her. Gradually, rumors spread that Camila was more than just the principal's daughter. People began digging into her background on forums. Some said her mother was the CEO of the Henry Group, others claimed her father was about to be promoted, so she wouldn't be just the principal's daughter anymore. Anyway, the rumors got more outrageous. Camila never explained, only smiling at the questions from her classmates. Her rich kid arrogance became more pronounced, and her penchant for slapping people intensified. Any classmate who displeased her received a slap. Perhaps even Royce was now under her control. Her behavior grew increasingly arrogant, and she couldn't even be bothered to pretend. She and Royce exaggeratedly performed idle drama scenes in the classroom corridors. Royce played the male lead and did not disappoint. Their scenes evolved from a classic school romance to an 18-plus drama. Boys in the class would crowd by the windows after class, waiting to watch the free show. Some boys, driven by desire, began to fawn over Camila, hoping to be favored by her. Camila was thrilled and beamed with joy. After performing idle drama with Royce during the day, she would select a few well-built boys to explore biology in the lab during evening study sessions. Strangely, the homeroom teacher turned a blind eye. Royce's shoes also kept getting more expensive. This made me unable to resist checking the home security footage to see if anything was missing. The footage was so revealing that my emotions were hard to describe. Given that there had been previous incidents of the nanny stealing, the security cameras at home were installed in very discreet locations. In the footage, Lauren, even when alone at home, diligently cleaned and never rifled through my belongings or cabinets. Furthermore, every night at 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., she would wake up on time and come into my room to tuck me in. These silent acts of care were unknown to me. All I knew was that ever since Lauren started taking care of me, I had rarely fallen ill or had to eat takeout. Even on rainy days, when Camila came to my house looking for Lauren to ask for money, Lauren never let her into the house but dealt with everything at the front door. Therefore, Camila had no chance to do anything to my home, and Lauren certainly wouldn't do such things. So, I really didn't know where Camila got that money from. Before anyone could witness Royce and Camila's live broadcast, Camila had already developed an interest in the new transfer student, Jared. Jared was a prodigy in Go, known nationally as a chess genius by the age of 10. He was handsome, with delicate features and misty peach blossom eyes that captivated anyone who glanced at him. But he was reticent, with his lips constantly pressed together, giving him an aloof demeanor. As soon as he arrived, his fans surrounded our class in layers. Camila cleared her throat several times, signaling everyone to make way. She approached Jared with small steps, licked her lips, and adjusted her outfit so that the left collar fell off, revealing a less than pale, fragrant shoulder. Jared looked at Camila with a blank expression and coldly said, "Classmate, please have some self-respect." This caused a murmur among the students. Camila's face reddened with embarrassment. She thought Jared must not have done his homework and didn't know her esteemed identity. She said in a sweet tone, "Jared, since you're new here, you might not be aware of our school situation." She then introduced herself, "I'm Camila." Camila's eyes sparkled with interest as she leaned closer to Jared and whispered in his ear, "I'm also the daughter of the principal of this school." Jared finally reacted, moving back slightly and looking at Camila with some surprise. Camila smiled at his reaction. Jared soon returned to his usual self, spinning his pen and saying, "Oh." Seeing his response, Camila's face turned red with anger. Her fists clenched tightly. I knew she was itching to slap someone, but she didn't dare touch Jared. She could only angrily declare, "Jared, you will be mine sooner or later." What kind of worldly oil is this? I couldn't help but laugh at the classroom door. Jared heard my laughter and turned his gaze towards me. His peach blossom eyes softened into crescent moons with a smile. He approached me with a beaming face, "Sister." That familiar "sister" made my heart tingle. The surrounding noise seemed to fade away, and only we saw each other. Since Jared called me "sister," Camila harbored intense hatred towards me. She found faults with me day and night. Until one day, I showed up in the classroom wearing a white Chanel outfit, and coincidentally, Camila was wearing a knockoff version of my outfit. The clothes were not gifts from me. Immediately, the classroom buzzed with speculation. Everyone doubted the authenticity of Camila's outfit. It wasn't my fault, Camila's knockoff was indeed outrageous. During the break, Camila blocked my way to the restroom. "You little bitch, take off this fake Chanel outfit." I smiled, "Sister, your outfit is the knockoff. When have you ever seen Chanel written on the clothes?" Camila's already fierce face fell instantly, and her eyes turned menacing. Her hand raised again, and I was about to grab her hand and slap her back. However, her slap never came down. I looked up to see Jared. Jared stood with his lips tightly closed and said nothing, glaring at Camila. Camila, instead of being scared, was furious at Jared for protecting me. Jared was entirely focused on checking if I was injured. As Jared was comforting me, suddenly, Camila slapped Jared across the face. Soon, Jared's fair cheek began to swell. This woman was not normal, she was a madwoman. The surrounding students remained silent, fearing Camilla's influence at school and avoiding angering her to become the target of her wrath. A crowd of fools. I sneered and went back to the classroom, projecting the video from the USB drive onto the big screen. The video showed the entire process of me giving the flawed rose-embroidered dress to Lauren, including my explanation of the dress's defect. Lauren, this dress has a small issue with the right skirt corner. It was accidentally torn during the South City charity night last month. It's okay. Miss, could you do this? I'll exchange all my rest days this year for this dress. I'll give it to my daughter, she has never worn such a good dress in her life. In the video, Lauren looked very flattering. Amidst the shock of everyone, I began to play the second, third, and fourth videos. Each video was of me giving Lauren used high-end dresses. From the problematic rose-embroidered dress to the slightly discolored ocean dress, to the high-end DK shirt, they all appeared on Camilla. Camilla flaunted these clothes to her classmates. Even the reasons for the defects were the same. The video proved it. Camilla, even if she was eloquent, must have been speechless by now. Her expression was most interesting. From initial shock and fear to calmness after the video ended. She glanced at her former minions with her chin still held high. She arrogantly said to me, "Jamie, before you provoke me, please investigate clearly. Aunt Wong is just my nanny. She has taken care of me since I was young and regards me as her daughter. Recently, she had an accident and hit her head, so she has always thought I'm her biological daughter. As for these clothes, I admit they were given to me by Lauren. I wore them a few times because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So what? My kindness doesn't change the fact that I'm the principal's daughter." Camilla spoke with righteous indignation, and no one dared to refute her. Even her followers believed her, praising Camilla for her beauty and kindness. I shook my head and quietly opened the profiles of the school principal, vice principal, and board members. Camilla shot me a scornful glance, saying, "My mom is the CEO of a listed company." I took my mother's surname. I then opened the profiles of all the leaders' wives. Oh, how coincidental, none of them had the surname Wong. The room was shocked, the farce ended. What I didn't expect was that this was just the ending I thought. In full view of everyone, Camilla suddenly covered her already pig-liver-red face with her hand and cried out in grievance. She cried and accused me, "Jamie, you little bitch. So what if I take my mother's surname? So what if I'm Alex's illegitimate daughter? Boo-hoo, Jamie, you wait, I'm going to tell my dad." What? She's Alex's illegitimate daughter? I was stunned. There was this hidden secret? No wonder Lauren had never mentioned her husband. After returning home, I began to inquire about her husband from Lauren. Lauren, who had always been honest with me, was evasive and reluctant to talk about her husband. Could it be that Camilla was really Alex's illegitimate daughter? So those bags and new shoes were Alex's pocket money? After the incident with the second-hand clothes, my classmates began speculating about my identity. Some people say I'm the daughter of a nouveau riche family, while others claim I'm Jared's girlfriend and that all my money comes from him. With Jared being such a penny pincher, he's more likely to save money than spend it on me. He saves every bit of his prize money from competitions, without spending a cent. I calculated it for him. Not to mention the millions, he certainly saved hundreds of thousands. Classmates are all buzzing, saying that even if I have money, I'm doomed. Because I exposed the principal's secret, my time at school seems to be running out. The news of my expulsion spread among the students, and the rumors became so vivid that I almost believed them myself. Scared, I quickly pulled out my phone and tried to contact my billionaire dad. I asked, "Dad, are you tired from work lately?" My dad replied, "Sweetheart, happy birthday. Check Alipay." I looked at my bank balance and saw a deposit of 30,000 yuan. I said, "Dad, my birthday is still a month away." My dad responded with. After a while, he sent another WeChat message, "Return it." Well, a bit of paternal love, but not much. Camilla, who always flaunts herself as the principal's daughter, tried to prevent classmates from looking down on her for being a bastard child by switching to increasingly expensive bags. Her face grew paler each day, with her lips turning purple. Camila boasted that despite being the principal's illegitimate daughter, her father cherished her so much, which is why she's so spoiled. Just as classmates were still undecided on whose side to take, Royce, who had previously opposed everyone, took the lead in trying to win me over. He pursued me aggressively, bringing breakfast, serving tea, and even seemed eager to do everything for me. I didn't understand why Royce would give up on the principal's daughter to pursue an ordinary person like me. Until I saw his chat history on his phone. It turned out Royce was investigating me and already knew I was the daughter of the richest person in the city. Royce pleaded with me, asking me to feel sorry for him for waking up at 5 every morning to make breakfast for me. Feeling sorry for a scumbag, such bad luck for a lifetime. Looking at Royce's cunning face and Camila's twisted, jealous expression, I came up with a plan. I started being ambiguous with Royce, playing hard to get. But little puppy Jared got anxious. Usually calm Jared, who rarely showed any emotion, pulled me into an empty classroom during a break after Royce had delivered water to me. He gripped my wrist tightly, his body blocking mine, and said angrily, "Jamie, what are you playing at?" Seeing Jared's anger rise, I smiled and asked, "Guess." After thinking for a while, he furrowed his brows and asked, "How much longer?" I stood on tiptoe, smoothed his furrowed brows, and softly reassured him, "Probably this week." I gave Royce several pairs of shoes Jared had worn. Royce's eyes lit up at the globally limited edition shoes and he became even more eager to please me. Even though he got no advantage from me, he persisted. Camila, enraged, repeatedly asked Royce to get back together with her. Royce didn't refuse her and that night took her to a hotel. Camila thought giving herself would make Royce change his mind. It turned out she was too naive. Royce picked up his pants and left, leaving 50 yuan on her bedside. This move made Camila hate me even more when she saw me at school. What? She's trying to blame me too? Big sister, I didn't insult you. I was stringing along Royce while maintaining a close sibling relationship with Jared. Finally, Camila couldn't take it anymore. During the evening self-study period, she blocked my way home. Holding a cigarette, still lit, she blew smoke rings at me and said, "Jamie, don't think you can do whatever you want just because you have a little money. Stay away from Royce." Her face, covered in foundation, looked ghostly under the dim light, and her expression was terrifying. Terrified, I spoke with a trembling voice, "Camila, you must have misunderstood. Royce and I have nothing going on." Seeing this, Camila's arrogance grew fiercer. "You little bitch, are you scared now? If you keep messing with Royce, I'll have you beaten up and take naked photos of you." I resisted. "Camila, hitting me is school bullying. I'm going to tell the teacher." She sneered and shouted, "Go ahead and report it. Do you think I'm afraid? My dad is Ling Jiangwo, the principal of Nan City High School. Who dares to touch me here?" As she spoke, she advanced toward me, and I backed up until I was cornered. Camila threatened, "If you touch Royce again, I'll send someone to beat you up, take naked photos of you, little bitch." I looked down, raised an eyebrow at her, and whispered in a way only she could hear, "On the 51st night, you're the one who's a door-to-door bitch." "Ah!" She screamed and raised her hand, hitting me repeatedly, 10 slaps in total. My face immediately swelled, and blood oozed from the corner of my mouth. I wiped the blood from my mouth and smiled at the dark corner not far away. "Is it all recorded?" Jared emerged from the shadows with a camera and nodded at me. Camila looked at us in shock. Taking advantage of her daze, I kicked her in the stomach. Today was particularly fortunate because my shoes had heels. Kicking her must have been very painful. I bound her hands with a strap and slapped her furiously against the wall. 10 slaps on the left, 10 on the right. I resisted. "Camila, hitting me is school bullying. I'm going to tell the teacher." Even after Camila fell to the ground, her eyes full of stars from the beating, she continued to utter filthy words. It seemed my strength had diminished after not going to the martial arts gym for a long time. I loosened up a bit and gave her a few more kicks until she was completely silent. Jared came over and pulled me away. The short video titled, "Principal's Illegitimate Daughter Bullying a Classmate," quickly went viral, topping the hot search list of Nan City High School's forum. Even the gossip about the daughter of Nan City's richest person didn't attract as much attention. The video's popularity remained high, and external discussions were endless. Many local media outlets started to repost and spread the video. Camila's arrogant attitude and the 10 slaps she gave sparked public outrage in Nan City. Everyone demanded that Principal Ling Jiangwo address the bullying issue. The matter only settled when Principal Ling Jiangwo held a press conference to clarify, "Camila is just one of the many orphans I support." To prove his innocence, the principal even displayed his list of beneficiaries. The list prominently featured, Nan City High School, Class 5, Grade 11, Camila. Camila's status as the principal's daughter was exposed. She became the most despised person at school, and even her former followers avoided her. Soon, the school decided to expel Camila. After the school's investigation, it was found that Camila from grade 11, Class 5 had fabricated lies, deceived classmates and teachers, and engaged in severe bullying, bringing shame to the school. The school leaders decided to expel Camila. Classmate Haley looked at the notice on the school's internal website for a long time. She took out her middle school uniform from her backpack, which was covered in derogatory words like bitch, 100 a night, and black fungus. Tears streaming down her face, she cried and laughed while cutting the uniform into pieces with scissors. I held her cold hand and together we threw the pieces into the trash can. With everything settled, I went home, exhausted. As soon as I opened the door, a shadow suddenly lunged at me. Years of taekwondo training allowed me to quickly turn and avoid the attack. Camila missed and spilled the liquid she was holding all over the marble floor. The ground emitted a sizzling sound, and gas was produced. It was concentrated sulfuric acid. My head instantly exploded with fear. If I had reacted even a second slower, I would have been dead. This was attempted murder. Camila's eyes were bloodshot, her face twisted with rage, and she kept shouting, "Jamie, bitch, Jamie, bitch." The woman had gone mad. I couldn't afford to get entangled with her any longer, I had to run. I used all my strength and fled outside, running as fast as I could. It was the first time in my life I had run so fast, and it felt like I was about to die. While running, I called Jared. Soon, the police and Jared arrived and subdued the already crazed Camila. Panting heavily, I said, "Jared, if you were any slower, I'd either be killed by Camila or run to death." Jared looked at me with deep concern and hugged me tightly, repeatedly apologizing. At the police station, Camila was starting to lose her sanity. By the time Lauren and my parents arrived, Camila had finally come back to her senses. My mom, so anxious that she lost one of her shoes, cried uncontrollably when she saw me. My dad was on the other side, frantically negotiating with lawyers and police. From the lawyers' words, I could vaguely hear terms like imprisonment, sentencing, and 16 years old. Camila panicked, she cried to Lauren, begging her to plead for leniency. Crocodile tears. At 16, attempting murder was enough to get her a life sentence. Lauren cried hoarsely at the police station, extending her calloused hand to slap Camila. "Camila, are you out of your mind? Mom, go plead with Jamie, beg her to let me go. She'll listen to you. If you plead for me, she'll definitely let me go," Camila shouted with her small eyes wide open, pressuring Lauren to negotiate with me. "Mom, I can't go to prison. My life will be ruined. I'm your only daughter. Who will take care of you when I'm gone?" Her sharp voice pierced through the entire police station. Lauren's eyes were swollen from crying as she shakily walked up to me, gently stroking my hair like before. She repeatedly asked if I was hurt or uncomfortable. I shook my head. Looking at her sadly, I asked, "Lauren, do you want me to let Camila go?" Lauren's voice was extremely hoarse as she softly shook her head. No, Jamie, you're a good kid. It's Camila who's wrong, she's made a huge mistake this time. She did such things to you, how can Lauren even beg you for mercy? With that, she turned and wobbled away. I watched Lauren's back, overwhelmed with mixed emotions. After taking a few steps, she turned back and suddenly knelt before me with a thud. In tears, she recounted her life. She had been an orphan since childhood, and when she finally married, her husband turned out to be an alcoholic. When drunk, her husband would slap anyone he encountered, causing many neighborhood grudges. After his last drunken episode, he had a stroke and collapsed at a neighbor's door. The neighbors watched him die without offering any help. Camila inherited her father's violent temper, being unreasonable and enjoying slapping others. It had led to this terrible mistake. With her husband gone and her child in prison, Lauren pleaded with me on her knees. She said Camila deserved to be imprisoned but asked if I could persuade the judge to be lenient. She didn't want to die alone. The hearts of parents are so pitiable. In the end, Camila was sentenced to 5 years. Later, I learned from my father's lawyer that Camila had been involved in illegal loans since the first year of high school. By the second year, to constantly buy new bags, she had resorted to illegal egg-selling businesses. She sold her eggs periodically and now her body was so weakened that she had lost the chance to conceive. Lauren worked even harder to pay off Camila's loans, which had accumulated to 500,000 yuan due to interest. A month or so after the incident, classmates remembered the gossip about the richest girl attending our school. The rumor began circulating that I was indeed the true daughter of the city's richest person. I specifically requested to speak under the national flag in front of the students. I told everyone that whether or not I was the richest person's daughter didn't matter. One's background shouldn't be the standard for choosing friends or role models. We should seek friends who share our values and are kind and upright. We should choose outstanding students who help others as campus stars and learning models. In Nan City High School, every student is equal. We are classmates, schoolmates, and friends. We should help and support each other in harmony. Before I finished, I heard thunderous applause from the audience. Among the crowd, I saw Jared. His eyes were full of stars as he looked at me. When he smiled at me, it felt as if the Milky Way had poured down into my heart. After the exam, Jared confessed his feelings. While others typically pulled out roses, he took out a bank card from his pocket and smiled tenderly. Sister, this is the money I've saved since I was 10. I'm giving it all to you. I looked at the bank card and pretended to be aloof. How much is in there? Being my boyfriend is quite expensive, you know. Since getting into a prestigious university, my dad had given me 20,000 yuan a month. This card probably just contained a few years' worth of my allowance. Hearing this, Jared's smile grew even brighter. Sister, there's 10 million yuan in it. Is that enough? If not, I can win more competitions over the summer vacation. 10 million?